You have been born at this time for a sacred and glorious purpose. It is not by chance that you have been reserved to come to earth in this last dispensation of the fullness of times. Your birth at this particular time has been foreordained in the eternities. You are to be the royal army of the Lord in the last days. You are youth of a noble birthright.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Malachi. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. Wherein have ye robbed me? In tithes and offerings. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse. The Jews all know that this is for the poor. The offerings are for the rituals. The storehouse was the treasury kept within the temple. I again did that video for you earlier this year, before conference. The scripture talks about the Lord being so furious with those who rob him by robbing the poor. Furious of corrupt leadership, corrupt religious leadership, who hoard money and refuse to help the poor, even causing poverty by the hoarding of their wealth. There are a number of scriptures of those who hoard money, neglecting the poor, who are utterly destroyed. And despite this repetition of history, mankind does not learn from history. They think that they can be the one person who can evade destruction and still be a thief and rob the poor as a religious leader, not just a government leader or a business leader. And so following that, they didn't have chapters and verses when the Jewish author wrote it. He leads right into the day that shall burn as an oven. Utter destruction, a mass human extermination event because of the evil men who are robbing the poor. They cause it, not the Lord. That is why he is furious with them. So priestcraft enforced with murder is a very grievous sin. Nonetheless, there's certain false prophets who think that they can get away with it and not be held accountable. Isn't that correct, DALLIN, Harris, OAKS? Isn't that correct? Now, back when he touched the Burley Temple, the one mighty and strong, I warned him like I did Nelson, don't touch the Ark of the Covenant. Don't do it. He did it. He knows me. He must be updated on me and my video content. We have had dealings, just as I have all the way back to 1998. They know me. They know who I am. They know that I have the gifts of seer, prophet, revelator, and translator. They know I have the keys of Moses. They know I am the rightful head of Joseph Smith's church through the corporate governance as the Melchizedek Priesthood Protocol of Section 107. This church is mine, and I am calling for it, Oaks. You have a legal duty to hand it over to me now. You gotta liquidate first, because the church is illegal. You've been lying to us. You've made us believe that Joseph Smith changed the name of the church in 1838, when Brigham Young did it. It's February 6th, 1851. And it was illegally created. When you're the governor of the territory of Utah and you form the religion for the first time with the state of Deseret, knowing it's not the state of Deseret, you know, because you're the governor of the territory of Utah. That's all he had to do. He was the governor of the territory of Utah. That's all he had to do. For the territory of Utah, we are establishing the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, February 6th. I'm signing it into law. And he still made it a secret combination. Do evil know they're stupid? Do they not know the consequences of being stupid as evil? You know, yeah, I know Spaceballs 2 is coming out. I know. I see the YouTube video trailers, and I know of the scandal of the fake trailers. And those who do fan trailers. Nonetheless, you know, how much did Brigham Young know that he intentionally did with those accompanying consequences? There are just billions of them. Billions. Just everything. Dear God. I mean, to fulfill all of the antagonist acts with the consequences, I mean, that is a level of intelligence to do that. A high level of intelligence. And evil just are not that smart because they're not learning from history. I don't know, because I knew my white supremacist Christian nationalist peers. They knew they were bad people. They knew. And they didn't care. And they called their wickedness righteousness. On purpose, to trigger other people to get angry with them and to start a fight. But they were stupid kids who didn't know the consequences. They just thought it was hilarious to do the act of wickedness on purpose to other kids. And then the consequences happened and they got punished and their lives got ruined. Not even their daddies could bail them out. But still, the leaders of this church from Brigham Young and his Danites all the way to Oaks Do you guys know? Because you're not stupid people. You had careers in high positions. OAKS was a former prosecutor and a Utah Supreme Court justice. You can't be stupid to have those positions, can you? I'm baffled. You know, maybe the prophets are that awesome to be able to know human behavior so detailed that they know that the wicked people will never believe them and then fulfill what the prophets warned them not to do out of their rebellion against the prophets. That's the only thing that makes sense, because for somebody to knowingly have it down pat of the pure evil of man, to then know of the consequences that historically always follow, and to still do it and to think that they can get away with it. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they're suicidal. You suicidal, Oaks? You doing this on purpose to kill yourself? You have suicidal tendencies? Well, maybe you should talk with your psychologist about that. Maybe give you more drugs. Do some Heil Hitlers as penance. Nonetheless. So, conference came around, and yeah, I called it again. These prophets have never understood. They know who I am. They know I've got the gifts and powers, and they still keep doing their thing, thinking they're going to get away with it, or they're suicidal, refusing to tell Mormons the truth, and taking down a lot of Mormon casualties, as well as those in the world. Lots of damage, lots of theft, lots of destruction, lots of murder. And OAKS, he knows I'm a translator. That was the whole thing that caught their attention from the beginning. They know. They know me. They have no excuses not to know me and to think that they can do what they do and that I won't catch it. They know me. Mormons may not understand this. We have had dealings since 1998. I've got a troublemaker file from it. 36434. You know, I can understand regular Mormons wanting to deny it to protect their faith bubbles, but the prophets know. They know what they did to me. They know there are consequences. They know they feared and trembled when they heard I got out. They know. They know I did the videos. They have the Strengthening Church Members Committee that searches the internet, searches social media, downloads Mormon content that are troublemakers. They know me. I have a troublemaker file. They are specifically stalking me. They are specifically committing cyber-terroristic crimes against me. They're specifically calling people in my life to say, hey, murder Travis. Murder his mom. Todd, commit crimes against your brother. And yet, train kept a-rolling all night long. Well, that's referring to a different train, Nonetheless. So yeah, Oaks gets up and says, love your adversaries. And I love the Sean Connery phonetics. Accent. He knows that it's referring to Satan. Oaks can't be that mentally retarded, can you? You just have a multi-personality disorder. We have to check. Google, when I was checking on Hercules this morning. It said, this is suspicious activity. How dare you? Bleep you, Google. You know exactly my IP address and therefore my whole identity. Satan, the adversary, LDS Church. Hebrew. Okay, yep, we have a churchofjesuschrist.org reference in LDS theology, becoming the adversary, Hebrew Satan. So let's check it out. It's overview for Satan, and what the hell is this page? What are you doing? God, do I have to minimize the screen? It doesn't help. What the hell? Dear God. Such incompetence. Okay, I'm not seeing. Satan, also called the adversary or the devil, is an enemy of all righteousness. They don't use the Hebrew, but it's right there in text. So for Oaks to say we need to love our adversaries, he knows. He knows, as all Mormons do, even if he doesn't know that it's from Hebrew. Because I'm not seeing the Hebrew thing here that they're claiming. He knows. He's not stupid on this. And yet he still came out and said it. So let's find the first Satan reference. 150 of them. First Chronicles. And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. Did I do it again? Oops, I did it again. But yeah, there's some other stuff involved here that I would have to do further research on. We'll make a note of this for another year. First Chronicles 21. David, number Israel, the book of the law. But they're saying, the Bruce R. McConkie is saying that David sins by numbering Israel. But as I read over further, the Lord sends pestilence upon the people, David sacrifices, and the plague is stayed. You know, Bruce R. McConkie doesn't want to translate the scriptures properly, but still. So, Job 1:6. They still won't put the Hebrew in here. Avraham Gileadi knew to put that in, so he must not have been the one involved with these passages. Because, yeah, there's no Hebrew that I can see anywhere in Job. Let's get out of Job. Okay, Psalm 109. There it is. Yeah. Church knows. They teach it. Psalm 109, verse 6. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. And so 6a, Hebrew, an adversary, accuser. When it refers you to Zechariah chapter 3, verse 1. So the church knows. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing. Oakes knew what he was doing when he said that at the pulpit of conference. He's not stupid. He knew what he was doing. He thinks you're stupid. Did you fall for it? Yeah. Yeah. You're too humiliated. Just admit it. I know evil. That when they get caught in their evil, they're too humiliated to admit it. They go down denying. So after conference, I'm kind of pissed. Trump failed again to cause World War III, Civil War II, Armageddon before Easter. That Oakes even threatened to murder all mankind with 7 death threats this year instead of 5 from last year. And so then I had found, as we entered into the new month, and so these may not be in the exact order of occurrences, but remember, I'm a seer. I have visionary memory. as a Fiskin in 5th grade. And it's not a photographic memory. It's the best I can do. I'm a visionary man. So those who know the Book of Mormon know what I'm talking about, even though they may not know what it is. Because no living prophet of Jesus has ever demonstrated how it is for Mormons. Because they deny the gifts and powers, which Mormon's big clue. All growing up, why do they not have the title of translator? Why won't they do any translations? And I was very disturbed by it. I wanted answers. How is the Book of Abraham translated? Oh, Joseph Smith? Genesis? How is it translated? We believe the Bible to be the Word of God as far as it is translated correctly. The Bible from the biblical Hebrew text is not translated correctly. What's the correct translation? Nobody's telling me. Pissing me off. I then have to do the original research to find the answer that nobody else will tell me. It's not my fault. Why am I getting punished? Oh. Church is evil. Yes, they are. Church is evil. They are of the adversary. So, I learned of a second Passover. It's not on the Jewish calendar. It's from the book of Numbers, chapter 9. It should have been on the Jewish calendar. Why isn't it on the Jewish calendar? So yes, the wicked who've got blood on their hands. And sure enough, cut off. Isn't that what it says? God, this is way out of order. I don't have a script. I just took notes of what to go over. And this is my research last night. David and his Exodus. That's what we're leading into, in case you're wondering. But that's the magical powers of me, is that in my talking, revelation or inspiration, my seership abilities are manifest. That's why the Strengthening Church Members Committee are required to cover this. But because it's not written down, I can easily lose track of where I was going. What's going on? So, Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord, 14th day of the 2nd month. At even they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it unto the morning, nor break any bone of it. According to all the ordinances of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man that is clean, and is not in a journey, and forbeareth to keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he brought not the offering of the Lord in his appointed season. That man shall bear his sin. Remember Malachi, bringing all the tithes for the poor and the offerings to the Lord. And OAKS flipped the scripts because the church did. The tithing is now for Jesus, and the offerings are for the poor. Fast offerings. We all know this as Mormons. And yet, when big celebrities come to Welfare Square, the church repeatedly tells them about tithing. An outright lie. They lied to Trump. They lied to Paula. They lied to other government leaders. They've lied to other religious leaders about the bishop's storehouse at Welfare Square. They lie to people, not just Mormons. And this is seen by Mormons who stay in the church and lie themselves to other people. They know they're lying. They're not stupid. They know. They lied to Trump. He was caught on a hot mic on his tour. The church lied to Trump, but it got Trump some great ideas. Oh, a national identification to buy and sell goods. When you go to the grocery store, you need an ID. I don't go to the grocery store. I got to push a cart for the first time at the church's Welfare Square. Their bishop's storehouse. Look at me. I'm like the poor people. So this is how the poor do it, huh? Wow, you require 10% or more. It's just, Mormon's got those Mormon colored glasses. Turns everything into faith promotion. But they're not strong enough to turn me into faith promotion. You gotta increase your faith. Then I can be faith promoting. There you go. Drink more Kool-Aid, kids. Drink more Kool-Aid. Oh, dear God. Cut off. Where do we know this from, Mormons? Oh. we're off script. There's inspiration going on in my brain. Warning alert. He said that prophet was Christ. I'm not going to give you the reference. Nah. But the day had not yet come when they who will not hear his voice should be cut off from among the people. He had just talked about quoting from Malachi. Will a man rob God? In the day that shall burn as an oven. Right, D. Todd? So, on the 12th, seven days later, so that would have been Sunday, after the Easter talk by OAKS, Love the Adversary. Adversary. I have a dream. The Mormons who come to this one video or subsequent videos for the first time and only see the picture of it don't understand me. You're not following me. No duh. I am the seer. And I didn't realize it when I started out the video for that day. That Sunday. It was not even mentioned at the beginning of it. It was further into the video when I recalled it and decided to tell you about it. And in the telling you about it, I went, oh. Because my intention was to tie it to Mulek and his exodus that was forced because they didn't believe Lehi and didn't go with Lehi in his exodus. These were the wicked people who survived and were compelled to believe in Lehi. But Lehi was long gone. Nonetheless, that's why I put in the meme. Hey Mulek, I recall 11 years ago, some apostate Mormon named Lehi said he was going to the New Jerusalem. Now, obviously, this is not a quote from the Book of Mormon. This requires higher level learning and literacy. It requires applying what you were taught in your daily lives. Rote prayers number 3, 7, 16, 23, and 58. On the Rammy-um-tum. Yeah. Nobody watched that video, did you? Had to change the thumbnail picture because I don't think anybody believed it. And YouTube refused to show the change of the picture. Bastards. And so I also have the scripture reference. 1 Nephi 22:13-15. That's not about Mulek. Or did you think it was? If you're guilty, you're going to be offended. Because you'll notice that instead of the Jerusalem temple, I put the Salt Lake temple. And the fall of the great and abominable church. And then I had the older version of the Melchizedek priesthood protocol from section 107. And OAKS's leak from 2020. Remember, he knows. He's not stupid. He just treats you as stupid. He got leaked because he's stupid. He knows he's got to keep his evil a secret. He knows you don't leak it because you become the weak link when you leak. And there's always an opportunity for the plot to fail now because you leaked your plot. OAKS leaked it. Dear God, OAKS. Dear God. So, what's next? That ain't no way to treat a lady, no way to treat your baby. So then I update the Melchizedek priesthood protocol when I find out about corporate governance. It's legally binding. Section 107 is all about corporate governance. The church, by claiming Section 107 in their canon of Scripture, rather than replacing it with something else of Brigham Young's and claiming to be by Joseph Smith, it doesn't count. There is nothing in our canon to justify the president of the 12 becoming the president of the church. That is in violation of the system of rules, practices, and processes by a firm to direct and control it. It is an illegal entity anyway. February 6, 1851. So, with my Exodus dream, I was telling you about the story of Eli, Samuel. And even before then, this is where my seer abilities come in. You need to pay attention to. Because I would then talk about a fake temple in the church news being announced. And I put the story in that video. 1 Samuel chapter 3. And I've told you how the Hebrew is hilarious. These Jews are such great comedians. Just like the Israeli TV or news. Trump parting the waters. Hilarious, guys. You know he's not your Christ. Run the test. Even the Rambam has a list that Trump doesn't match. Come on, guys. I'm right here. Netanyahu, I'm right here. I know Trump is in a position of power to do things for you, but I'm right here. Yeah, Mormons. Who would have thought? It was just all over the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith's words. Nonetheless, Samuel in Hebrew is name of God, or the God name. It's the hidden name of Emmanuel. To avoid the too frequent repetition of the name Emmanuel, they use Yahweh for the most part. There's some other words too, other names too. But nonetheless, Emmanuel from the prophet Jesus. Oh, this is your first video of mine too, and you're still listening? Yeah, Jesus is the same name as Emmanuel, and they're both the same name as Joshua. It's just in English, some dumbass changed the spelling. Nonetheless, they're the same names. And so, Samuel, from the previous chapter, was born to a barren mother who promised the Lord that if she were given a son, he'd be dedicated to the temple. And so Manoah went into the queen's chambers, and she conceived and bare Samuel. And so sure enough, when he was weaned, he was brought to the temple. And so the name of God is taken to the temple of God, where God is the temple president, temple of God president, and God has two sons of God. A rabbi and a priest walk into a bar. So the name of God goes to sleep, and the voice of God comes to the name of God. And Samuel thinks it's God. Hilarious. But yeah, Eli is a wicked man for not keeping his sons in line. And so, it starts off in chapter 3. The word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. Just like now. I mean, prophets of Jesus will never give you visions. It all died with the death of Joseph Smith. And so, even to enhance the symbolism of the story, the lamp of God went out. Oops. In the temple, where the Ark of the Covenant of God was. When writing a book of fiction, when writing a TV script, when writing a movie script, it is basic script writing, book writing, fiction writing 101. To only put in what is relevant to the story. If it is not relevant to the story, leave it out. The reader may want to know, how was the room decorated? But if that's not germane to the story, it ain't belonging. It's not supposed to be put in. That's not what you're supposed to focus on. And so, Amazon does excellent movies and TV shows. Surprisingly. So I've been watching Reacher. Finally have season 3. But in season 1, it gives you his backstory with flashbacks as to why he is a hobo, rather than settling down with one good woman. He stood up against bullies as a kid. They make this very clear. They even have in the show itself extra stuff that's not part of the main theme of the show, in which he, as an adult now, is defending people from bullies. And thus the flashbacks. It is germane to the storyline. And yet, he keeps doing it as a hobo rather than settling down, because as a child, his defense from bullies, and bullies also were bullying other kids, his brother and even father got in trouble for what he did. And so he felt guilty. And so he thinks it's penance to do it as an adult. That's why he won't settle down with Roscoe, who originally wanted him to settle down with her, and then just let him go at the end, when he told her directly that if she were to say, "I want you to stay," he would stay. Just want a booty call, don't you? Love him and leave him. No commitment. And then you rush to judgment of men who don't want to commit to you. exposing that you're the non-committal one. Women don't watch my channel, I can say these things. Even though they'll rush to judgment and be false accusers. Women. Women, women, women. If only you knew you could take down this church. Just like Alyssa Grenfell did. Oops, they were so focused on me. And John DALLIN? Seriously? John DALLIN fell from grace, guys. Were you not aware and notified by the Strengthening Church Members Committee? Alyssa Grenfell. Did you skip her? She's now gone worldwide and has destroyed you. So in season 2 so far, as I'm rewatching this in preparation for season 3, he's got his old gang back together again because they're all being murdered. And so sure enough, it starts off with him needing to get money from the ATM, and there's a woman who's getting robbed while her son is being held hostage in the van. And so he goes and saves her. It is germane to the story to show you who he is as a character. And yeah, they did the previously from season 1 at the beginning as well. That's what you do when you're writing stories or telling scripture tales. Do not put things in that don't belong. So yes, when you see Lamp of God going out in the temple where the Ark of the Covenant is, you're supposed to know that it's tied with the word of the Lord was precious in those days, and there was no open vision. You thought I would lose track, didn't you? So did I. So, this is the context. You have a false god who's corrupt. Amen to the priesthood and the authority of that man. And then you have the rightful temple president to set in order the temple. Section 85 of the Doctrine and Covenants, verse 7. The one mighty and strong. Joseph knows what he's talking about, Mormons. You should have trusted him. So, it was just the church news of the fake announcement for a temple in Washington. I make that little scripture story of Eli and then of section 85. But what is interesting in Eli is shown the vision. And in chapter 4, the Philistines come. And the people are utterly destroyed, and the Ark of the Covenant is stolen. The two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead. And it came to pass, when he made mention of the ark of God, that it fell from off the seat, he, Eli, fell from off the seat backward by the side of the gate, and his neck brake, and he died. For he was an old man and heavy. And he had judged Israel 40 years. Yeah, they use numbers too. Just like in Rachel. So, yes. Interesting. The house of Dagon. Philistines took the ark of God and they brought it into the house of Dagon, the goat beast constellation. Capricorn. Fish and goat. This is required to be here. Oh, Gath. Which 11-foot 4-inch man was from Gath? You really need to pay attention, Mormons. And unfortunately, most Mormons have been offended and never even bothered to click on the video, let alone continue to watch to now. Because they do not know what a real seer is. So that's when I recognized, by going over that oh crap. I warned you, Oaks. You don't want to acknowledge me. You know. And you still live in denial, huh? Because I can't believe that the Strengthening Church Members Committee are not reporting to you. That would be a major boo-boo. A big major boo-boo. So, going back to the second Passover, I would then be thinking about it, going, Pentecost is 50 days after, and I covered that for the original Passover. Going over it with you. Shavuot, as that's the 8th of Sivan, which is the 24th of May. But upon learning of the Numbers 9 of the second Passover, cut off, I went, is there a second Pentecost? Can't find anything. They didn't even have Numbers 9 on the calendar. They're not going to have second Pentecost. But it would be on the 21st of June. And so I used the same pretty picture that I newly made for the first Pentecost and put in the text for the second Pentecost, because it's the same. And so you've got the Jews with Trump as Jesus, and then the Christians with Trump as Jesus, and then the Mormons with a statue of Jesus. But did you notice what I put in the meme? I don't put in things that aren't relevant. You must pay attention, especially church service mission, or the strengthening church members committee. They could be special church service missionaries, because the church is cheap that way. But nonetheless, the Book of Mormon. Notice how I left another testament of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on it. That I didn't use the Jewish star of the Jewish Christ. Golden, not gold. Over the head of the cow. Of Aaron in the Sinai, according to the story, or Horeb, depending on which story you go to, while Moses was in Utah getting the 10 Commandments. Yeah, we're leading into Anderson. And I have Mormons murmur and complain. OAKS instead of Aaron, with adversary in quotes. And burly temple for the altar. Really can't ignore me. I'm trying to warn you. So, yep, Anderson then goes and does his 10 Commandments video on YouTube. You dumbass. He, like OAKS, replaced the High Council to touch tithing with the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. Do I need to go over how furious the Lord is for tithing violators? Are they that stupid? Or do they know and want to die? Suicide is painless. Suicide is painless. MASH. Great show. And so the Temple of Nephi. A Canadian Mormon woman is sacrificed. I don't know if she's a Mormon. Lots of Mormons in Canada talk about going to the temples to see them. In the ward in McGrath, we had a guy in the ward who was over the young men. He came to the bishop with a proposal to do a field trip into Saskatchewan? Is that the next province over from Alberta? Where he claimed, from photos that he was showing us, that there were large stones that nobody was doing an archaeological dig on, and was wanting to have the young men go out there and look at them. Maybe even do an archaeological dig for this Canadian Scouts. And get some kind of a sponsor from the government and blah, 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 and all that. And he was on his way to move further north to Calgary or Edmonton or something like that. the bishop called me in and had me be a part of it because he knew of my education. Not yet, but still, he knew of my knowledge of scriptures and such, and took counsel from me, Oaks. Because I'd just gone on a mission and gotten married and moved up to Canada. I hadn't gone to the University of Lethbridge yet. Nonetheless, other Mormons recognized my abilities. So why did you guys do what you did to me rather than follow the art of war? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Or, when there's an expert in the field, you get counsel from them. You don't claim you know better, that you can do it on your own, and not ask for directions or check a map. Typical guys. Do they know? Or are they just that stupid, thinking they're so smart? So no, there's nothing there. He did have photos of him when he went down to the pyramids in Central and South America, wherever it was, back when he had a wife. But yeah, he was, I don't know what he was thinking. He was leaving. He abandoned us. And so it was just dropped. He ruined his reputation as he left. You can't do that, people. You're burning bridges. Ooh. Ooh. Burning bridges, huh? Burning bridges, falling down, got a nasty reputation from town to town. Ooh, yeah. Burning bridges. And so, in that Temple of Nephi, I put in some extra information that are applicable to what I wanted to use that story for. Because it's just a Canadian woman got murdered there at the pyramid. But I know Mormons. I was born and raised among you. Sort of down in Southern California mostly. I'm well aware of what Sister Freeman is doing. The diversionary tactic that they posted late, thinking that I would take the bait. Seriously? You know me, right? You know I've been picking on Sister Freeman, and you think you're going to lure me with that? Seriously? Dear God, Sister Freeman, those titles for the women? Seriously? Come on, you could do better titles than that. I could. I did them when I saw them. And I'm not even going to grace you with what my versions were. Dear God. It's a diversion, people. While they were cyber attacking me on YouTube yesterday because they finally got the emails and heard my videos about John DALLIN. You're not getting it. You think you're clever. You think you're in a higher position of power over me because you're hiding behind a computer committing cyber terroristic crimes. You are not in a better position against a seer. It's still going to happen. happen. No matter what you do to me, it's still going to happen to you. Are you really that stupid? Do you really not know this? Unbelievable. And so, yes, the exodus of Nephi. Second Nephi, chapter 5, verses 6 to 20. Minutes. I have to take care of some other business here. We might have to come back and continue the video recording. So Laman and Lemuel are so insistent that they have to take away the agency of everybody to control them, that Nephi has to flee. And so here's his exodus. So we won't go over all of it. And again, I'm trying to warn you, Mormons, you don't want tents. You want cabins. Trust me on this. There is an ordered process that if you followed what I have planned, everything will be perfect. And yet, people think they know better. People think they can hesitate and procrastinate and wait until the last minute or be compelled. And that somehow things will all just work out. No, it won't. So Solomon's temple, which is where the visionary connection came from. And here in verse 20, getting to the promised land. After becoming their king when he didn't want to. He concludes with, "Wherefore the word of the Lord was fulfilled, which he spake unto me, saying, that inasmuch as they will not hearken unto thy words." Joseph Smith, verse 40. Your Christ, King, anointed, Christ, Messiah. Nephi is the Christ. He's the Lord. You need to hearken to your Christ, or you will be cut off, right? So pay attention. Inasmuch as they will not hearken unto thy words, they shall be cut off. It was just Solomon's temple that I connected it to. And then I put the whole thing in. Oh, look, cut off. You're not catching on, Mormons? Living prophets of Jesus don't want to catch on. From the presence of the Lord. Well, there is no Lord. It's just Nephi. Oh. The one who's a visionary. And behold, they were cut off from his presence. Laman and Lemuel, and those who hearkened unto his words. So, yeah. And where everybody thinks that this is racism, because you are racist in a bigoted sense of hating Jews by turning this into literal history. This is not literal history. This is not what literally happened. This was put in just like the lamp of God in the temple went out. The darkness of having no seer. And so here, Laman and Lemuel cut themselves off from the seer. And that's why dark skin. They think they're the rulers. And you just rushed to accuse, didn't you? God, people. So, I am aware of the sign in the heavens, and we're going to call it here and continue on with the Lyriads and the signs in the heavens and David and his harp when I come back. Okay, I'm back. And I found out some stuff too. John DALLIN did a streaming video last night around 6 p.m. in which he expressed, it was obvious he didn't know. He found out because people notified him while he was in California on vacation with his wife. And they didn't get back until Sunday night, but he was notified out there in California that Jasmine was doing a whole bunch of video content and postings on all of the different social media sites that she's involved with to talk about this. So somehow Jasmine got word in advance where nobody else did until they saw Jasmine's reporting on it, and then they went and checked it out. And so thus, when I talked about it Friday night, it was because of Jasmine's video, and then I found friends in the apostate community who provided me with the links that I then provided with you guys below, and then notified my FBI immediately because of the see something, say something requirement as a patriot of the United States of America and an Eagle Scout, citizenship in the nation. Yeah, this was clearly a crime. And I didn't watch the whole hour, 30-minute something video stream. But I got to the part where he said that the argument back in November or December last year, so right when OAKS takes over as president, he's now getting called in for mediation, and their complaint was that he used Mormon stories with a blue color. That he's been using for years. I still remember when the new Iron Man movie came out, that people were doing joke videos, or some guy did a joke video about how Metallica is suing Iron Man for using certain chords from one of their songs. You know, it could have been if it was sufficiently, but no. They're just those things that you just, oh my God. But yeah, the church was secretive and devious. He was unaware that he got sued. His his company found out 8 or 9 o'clock that evening, and he hasn't had a chance to go over it yet, even though he said all day yesterday he was with his lawyers. So he didn't mention anything of my email either. It was not to his lawyers, it was to his nonprofit company that may have a board, I don't know, but I'm assuming so, since he's able to have a legal firm as well. And it was clear the church did it in secret and somehow leaked it to Jasmine. That's also disturbing, Jasmine. But as I notified you guys of, the church filed their statement on their website with no outward appearance for anybody to know to click on it. It was a hidden file on their website that I was able to find with the help of my apostate brethren and sister, maybe. So yeah, the church keeps showing how they can't be true with stunts like this. To sue over color choice, oh my hell. I mean, dear God, it is really pathetic, Oaks. Oaks gave the order. He's the head of the church, even though he says he's not. Jesus is. Jesus speaks through him. Dear God, mental retard, multi-personality disorder. He's not fit mentally. Not even physically fit. Getting all riled up and excited. Oaks is unfit. This has always been a problem in this church. That the apostles are there till they die. And so the oldest man living when the president dies becomes, or the highest ranking in the Quorum of the 12, who typically is the oldest, but not necessarily, becomes the president of the church. And so, yes, there have been periods of time where the presidents of the church have been on their deathbeds. And, you know, fortunately, even though they lie to us, the corporate board can take over and run things. But that's not the way it was with Joseph. Dear God. So, yeah, he's surprised, but he's not surprised, because the church always lies. And the statements that the church put out, he said, they lied. I called it when I read over it with you. They lied. We acted on good faith. Yeah, that's not what's called good faith. It's like Trump saying, yeah, Iran wants a peace deal. They want to meet to talk. We've got a ceasefire. It's now in progress. And no, we don't. And I thought I was the only one who caught on that this was insider trading, war profiteering. That still is going on. Whereas the most of the news didn't catch it until last night. Finally, the BBC said, this is insider trading. To continually, for weeks, say that Iran wants to meet, Iran wants to talk, they quit, we destroyed them, it's over, war is over, ceasefire. And time again, no it's not. And for the news here in this nation to not catch this, are they stupid or are they maliciously manipulating their audience as stupid? Following the same thing in this video theme. So, yeah, he has not gotten my email, or at least he doesn't want to acknowledge it if he did, but it's not likely he did, because he just found out, and so they wouldn't have, the foundation wouldn't have found out until Monday when he's in with lawyers, as he said, all day that day. And so, I don't know. I'm trying to help you, John. I'm trying to help you. Even though you're now trying to use it to get more money. Yep, he's got a whole fund for the lawsuit now set up for you to donate. And showed in real time the women who were donating to him that evening last night. See, I've had people who have wanted to donate to me, to help me out financially, and I don't want that. I am not comfortable with it. For me, I want us in Zion, so that everybody is taken care of. Section 45, transition. Now that we've discussed that Jasmine's a naughty girl who is upwards of around 100,000 views for that video that she did on Friday. YouTube, I see how you work. Verse 66, section 45. Joseph Smith makes it very clear he's talking to us. And then he's clear that he's going to prophesy to us, just like they did in those Bible times. Not literal history. It is very clear from reading section 45 that Joseph Smith is going to give you a spirit-based prophecy, a vision. And so it's not the Jews, it's not Jerusalem, it's definitely not Jesus, it's the future. And yet, thanks to the lies and denialisms and the negationism of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormons remain in darkness without a visionary seer to lead them. Thought I forgot about that? I mean, just because I got a different tone and I'm more awake now. Got a few more pains that crept in. I remember the movies and TV shows about old people talking about how now that they're old, all they talk about is the pains that they are experiencing. Here I am. I'm at the gate. Because Oaks ran a bleeping test run in 2020, you bastard. Oh, dear God. So, he's setting us all up for verse 66. And it shall be called the New Jerusalem. Where is it going to be, Mormons? Article of Faith, number 10. America. Not independence. Joseph Smith's secret document that Brigham Young refused to publish because he was pissed because he got called out as Judas. And the Latter-day terrorist threat. Is it I? And is it I? From Mark 14? Yeah. 19 July 1840. Joseph Smith drops the bomb, baby. We're going to use no more Mr. Nice Guy. Trump, the Christ of both Jews and Christians. Not affiliated with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, whose idol statue Christ is a 11-foot 4-inch statue. It tells you in the 10 Commandments, Anderson, no statues of a false Christ. And what do? Do you know? Nonetheless, Southern Illinois, guys, where Joseph Smith knew that X would mark the spot. And to see the Cairo on his stone tablets that Anderson had in the video, dear God. I mean, yeah, if you understand that Constantine knew what he was doing, sure. That's where X marks the spot. Southern Illinois, from the shadows of the sun god at noonday. For the first and last letters of the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet. From the script. The A and the X. A on its side. Anyway, New Jerusalem, a land of peace. Hey, that's the translation of Salem. City of refuge. And I'm horrified that Jews don't know anymore because of Constantine what the Jeru means. It's real simple. He's the founder of the 18th dynasty of the David Moseses. Mosiah. And so it's Yah, God, the God Yah. Ta-da. All you had to do is ask, just like the Russians. Just, Yuzay is the Constantine Cairo. Just ask. I'm right here. I'm here now. Just ask. And the Jews are waiting for me to come to ask me as to whether or not they should have a cup for me at the table for Passover. That's your number one question? Obviously, you gotta give me a cup. I ain't gonna take down food without plumbing liquid. Come on. Give me a tougher question. You're looking beyond the mark. A city of refuge. Oh no, a sanctuary city in America. A place of safety. Why would we need a place of safety? Oh, right, the extermination order from Malachi. For failing to pay tithing to the poor. For who, Mormons? The saints. That's what he says at the beginning. Hearken, O ye people of my church. It's all for you. Joseph Smith gave you a vision and you turned it literal history of the Most High Sun God at noonday, Emmanuel. So, it is before all hell breaks loose. World War III, Civil War II, Armageddon. Before. Do not make this Mulek. I try to warn. Everybody thinks they know better. We can procrastinate. We can wait to be compelled. Everything will be fine. It'll all work out. Trust in the Lord. Bye-bye. And so, yeah, like with Nephi, the glory of the Lord shall be there. The Mormon will be there. Right? We can do it without him. We know better. Just like Laman and Lemuel knew better than Nephi. How'd that work out again? Oh, it's literal history now. And so the wicked aren't going to desire to be there. First of all, they're not going to be allowed. But they don't want to come. That's why the initial interview questions for the numbering of Mormons and those who are wanting to come and abide by the one and only one law of love, give agency, life, liberty, property. That's it. You can do that, you're in. If you can't do that, you're out. If you say you're going to do it and then you don't do it, you're out. It is not hard to give agency. You just have to quit being judgy of other people, trying to tell them how to live their lives. That's not up to you. That's up to them. They have agency. If they can't do it, they're out. If you can't let them do it, you're out. You're not giving them agency. It's real simple. And so, thus, while the world is killing each other until Shiz and Coriantumr are the last two people on Earth, notice no women are around. Really? You guys killed off all your women, huh? That was brilliant. Who came up with that idea? This is a stable genius plan. We'll go down in the history books. Do you know what you're doing? Are you aware of the consequences? Yeah, if you're not in Zion, you have to fight. There is no, oh, I'm a pacifist. Not out in the world where they're fighting. I've been going over this with you about white supremacist Christian nationalism. They bully you to fight them. You have to fight them. All of the TV shows, all of the movies, about guys who go to prison when they didn't do anything wrong. They're being framed and blamed, and so now they're having to do time. Yep, that's the first thing. They go in, and the first day, one of the inmates comes to them to challenge them, and you gotta fight them, and you better win. Exactly. You cannot live a normal life anymore. And if you're able to live a normal life now, you are really filthy rich. But for the most part, the majority of the world's population don't get to live a normal life. And it's going to get worse. And so those who want to come to Zion just because they don't want to fight, but they don't want to give agency, you're out. You got to come, and you got to come for the right reasons. And so yes, there's going to be weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth because you don't want to abide by the one law of love. You're out. That's why there's the first stage, and then there's a second stage, and then a final third stage to make sure you are choosing to come. So there's no excuses for you. I didn't know. I gotta be good? Oh, wow, nobody told me. Get out of here. I heard you guys in grade school. Get out. Dear God. So yes, the mass extermination of mankind is coming. That's what all of this is leading for. And if you refuse to do it, yeah, America will just turn into Nazi America. They're getting the concentration camps set up. Because like I told you in the other video, and around this time in the video, so that nobody heard it, they're not going to use the ICE facilities just for deportations. Because eventually, if they keep deporting, eventually there will be nobody left to deport. Oh no, what do they do now? I guess they're fired. No. Mosiah 29. Mosiah 29 in 1984, and other movies and TV shows that explain this for you. It's to transition into concentration camps, where the psychologists will come. That's why in Utah, that was their first attempt, was to do a psychological prison camp to torture people and lock them up, hold them hostage there at the homeless shelter. Oh, we're going to give them resources. No, you're not. No, you're not. Did you get your cue from the church? Another lie. Yeah, nobody bought it. Nobody wanted it. And they still tried to push it. And so then ICE now stepped in, and they tried to get us something more downtown, and that was immediately protested and denied. And so they got a warehouse and snuck the purchase of it, and then Sister Homewrecker Mendenhall tried to step in to talk with them. Oh, yeah, it's going through, even though she shut off the water to it. So you're going to be tortured there without water now. So yes, it's under the guise of deportation, especially being so close to the airport and all. But very clearly, it's going to be a concentration camp. And it's just a matter of time. Trump is failing because he can't trigger other people to cause it. That's what he's doing. So in the meantime, he keeps making money and helping make those who gave him money to bribe him to continue to make money. But the overlords are not happy that they got humiliated in 3 conferences now. The ones in 2020 and 2021, well, they themselves, OAKS got leaked. Test run. If it happened, great. But it's a test run. But now, these are not test runs. These are failures on Trump. That's why Trump is being threatened with lawsuits, threatened with a hearing for impeachment. People are calling for the 25th Amendment. MAGA is exiting the party, and they don't realize it's a trap. You now become one of the illegals of Trump, just like Antifa. Nobody listens. Nobody listens. We must get to Zion for safety. Everybody will be at war. America is the one privileged first world nation where the people will not stand when you cross a line for them. We have demonstrated that in our history. And so that's why they are doing this subtle secret attack to get the internet, AI, social media to change the minds of the people through psychological manipulation. And I saw that in the news. YouTube, with their punishment for my discussing John DALLIN and his lawsuit over the weekend, yesterday, escalated their attacks. I know exactly what they're doing. They think that they're being subtle, that I'm not going to catch it. I've been on here since 2014. I've seen all of this stuff before. This is nothing new. And yet they still think that this is going to get me this time. And yeah, maybe it will eventually, because I have no defense against it. I'm not technologically advanced. I don't have the equipment to send back a cyber attack signal to destroy AI and leave us alone. I am utterly defenseless. I am not here to control your lives like they are. I am here to save your lives. That's it. Everybody wants to rule the world. The First X's favorite song. So I purposely don't want to listen to that ever. She ruined that song for me. Everybody wants to rule the world. And that's all you see is just clashes of people wanting to control other people's lives, take away agency, dominate, and be powerful and rich over other people. And that's what's going to cause it. That's what's going to cause it. So, the wicked are not going to bother. What do you mean, no monetary system of economy? How are we going to steal from you? Exactly. How are you going to pay for this? That's got to be the dumbest MAGA statement ever. Their one argument for communism. How are you going to pay for it? Communism is a different economy, you dumbass. You know, maybe you know that and you're just trying to see how dumb the other side is for embracing communism, but still. Do you know what you're doing? Do you know what's coming out of your mouth? Did you think about it first? So, yeah, we should be left alone. But also, when the church falls, because you do understand this, right? Joseph Smith is making it very clear that the whole world will know. The whole world already hates you, Mormons. They know criminal behavior when they hear it from the news or from the streaming channels with the latest show. Or series. People know. They've already hated you. And to hear these other things come out, even if they're fiction, it still supports their hatred of you. Mormons are living in their own little faith bubble still, clueless of how the world perceives them. Thinking that, oh, it's the gospel of Jesus, who would want to hate us? Yeah, it ain't about the gospel of Jesus. You've been lied to. It's about all of their criminal activities that you want to deny and hope it goes away. When they got sued by the SEC and fined $5 million, it's because the church got caught in a crime. But the whistleblower could only report for Ensign Peak Advisors, not for the dozens of other LLC companies for the other sources of revenue of the church that are also committing the exact same SEC violation. They didn't do a full audit of the church's finances. Only Ensign Peak Advisors. And so the standard rate for a fine is $5 million. So yes, Brigham Young, 1851. That's when he named the church. They aren't Joseph Smith in 1838. They can't speak for Joseph in 1838. They have no authority. Yet they were going around lying to people, lying to converts, lying to other Mormons. Joseph changed the name of the church. No, he didn't. You lied. And Joseph Smith published that you lied. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints still to this day refuse to admit that they've lied. That the church was officially designated by Brigham Young in 1851, February 6th, as an illegal criminal operation of fraud that the United States shut them down for. So, find my email, John. Find my email. Your company has it. It's probably swamped with other emails. Guys. Because John should have presented that to his law firm yesterday so that they can know the factual information to shut it down before playing along with the church's game. Because he made it very clear it's going to cost upwards of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Yeah, no duh. The church wants to financially ruin you, John. That's what all this is about. If you do not change and shut up, they're going to financially ruin you and shut you up. Force you to change. This is what they do. And so you need to stop it immediately before playing their game. Your Honor, the church isn't legitimate. They're a fraud. An illegal criminal fraud. They have no legal authority to sue. Case closed. You're welcome, John. So, this is the part that led me into David and his harp. Visionary mind, remember? verse 71. And it shall come to pass that the righteous shall be gathered out from among all nations. This is not talking about being converted where you are separated around the world. This is very clear. The literal gathering of the house of Israel in the exact same pattern match of the similitude that Joseph Smith used for the Kirtland Temple dedication, and then vision, and then the gathering call out. That's why I was inspired to do those videos this year in March, just last month, the 27th of March, and then April 3rd. You need to pay attention to me. You have never had a real seer in your lifetime. And the church is not only not having visions for you to know, they have turned Joseph Smith's visions into literal histories so that you won't know. I'm only trying to save your lives, if you will but hearken, and thus get inspired for what you then would need to do and be prepared for in hopefully the coming day, thanks to this lawsuit against John. Because clearly the FBI didn't contact them yet. Maybe they won't need to. Maybe it'll just be a matter of contacting the church, but still, they've never responded to anything I've sent them. And so again, if this ends up blowing up, and it's found out that the FBI was notified by me, and they did nothing, oops, Cash Patel is already in trouble for being a drunk. And so he's suing. How dare you say I'm a drunk? The news knows why. They've forgotten. I remember. Trump does not want drunks under his command. If you're a drunk, you're fired. That's why the whole thing with Pete Hegseth, the press intentionally tried to point out how Pete Hegseth is a drunk. And the late night hosts always joke about Pete Hegseth as a drunk. Kavanaugh even, a drunk. Trump is very particular that way. Even though you're his kind of guy, if you're a drunk, you're out. If you're his kind of guy and you sneeze or sniffle in his presence, you're out. He's kicked out reporters who cough. You're disturbing my show. Get out. And the press forgot about this, I guess. So yes, if the FBI director, Cash Patel, is involved in drunkenness, as he's already been failing to do his job already, like Pam Bondi, he's out. And so maybe that's what the press is doing. They know, they just don't want to keep, he's suing. The Atlantic, I think it was. So yeah, you need to know how to deal with Trump. Get Bill Maher back in the White House. Go back in, Bill. Go back in. Emmanuel. You didn't watch that episode, did you, of mine? The pretty thumbnail picture of my cuz. And so, and shall come to Zion singing with songs of everlasting joy. I always thought that's weird, because the songs I'm going to be listening to are Feel My Heat, Taking You High, Burn With Me, Heaven's on Fire. I'm your turbo lover. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more. Great. Now, because of the delay, we got you guys aren't even supposed to do this. You better not be doing sprinklers. They told you to wait until May. Nonetheless. God. So yeah, my whole day is shot down in flames. Ain't it strange to be shot down in flames, or caught in flames, or whatever. AC/DC. Those are my songs. And yeah, Barry Manilow and others, Mozart, Johnny Mathis, certain country. Must be female, mostly. Preferably. But no. I found out last night why that is in there and how weird that is. Not just because of the songs sung at the Kirtland Temple dedication that include the man like Moses. Me. Nope. The lyrids are either tonight or tomorrow night peaking. And I can't get a straight answer from anybody. The Space Earth site is saying tonight. Time and date that I've been using as reference materials and have noticed lately that they're a day off, and they're still a day off from other sites, are claiming tomorrow night that the lyrids will be at their peak. So when I had that vision talking with you in it's the text information from the video I did, in connection with the dream I had of the Exodus back on the 12th. So that on the 17th, when the lunar new moon, right, was the 17th, when word got out that, oh, naughty boy, OAKS, the secret lawsuit against John DALLIN, that Jasmine, the naughty girl she is, exposed it to everybody. And so our fellow brethren and sistren of the apostate community went to work to expose it all. So yeah, Jasmine does not know anything of the church. She just reports what she reads, clueless of how to put anything together. This is the sad reality of what the church does to Mormons. And so it's important to know the signs in the heavens right now. I've been trying to teach you this. Joseph Smith translation, Revelation chapter 12. Joseph Smith tells you how to learn by the Spirit for all scripture interpretation. Signs in the heavens, in the likeness of things on the earth, with a prophecy of each of the characters and who is represented. And so the woman is the church. There are, save two churches: Church of the Lamb, Church of the Devil. There's only one planet that's a female. She's the inverted pentagram, of Lucifer as Venus, the mother, church of the devil. But Joseph Smith is referring to Virgo, not Venus. That's the church of the Lamb. But Venus is held hostage by the great and abominable church of Mars, the daddy, hoping that Sun will take over and rule and reign in the house of Israel, over the house of Israel forever, for all eternity. I lost it. Anyways. And so the ancients also understood that the moon is also female. So Virgo, the moon, and Venus are the church. So yes, the moon is the religion. The sun is government. And so there's a government of the government, and then there's a government of the religion. The government of the religion contains three. And D. Todd Christofferson, even though he's the second counselor, is not in that rank order among the three. The rank order is OAKS, then Eyring, then Uchtdorf. And then I think David Bednar. Isn't he next after that? And then maybe D. Todd. D. Todd is not in the top three. And yet, sure enough, if you remember following me, when Holland died and then Uchtdorf replaced him, even though it's acting, because Eyring is technically the president of the Quorum of the 12. But he's the first counselor. And so sure enough, Mars, which is now OAKS, Mercury, which is Eyring, and Saturn, which is now Uchtdorf. All there in their little inverted triangle. Depending on how you adjust it, I guess, but triangle. All clustered together at the tail of the sea beast. Tail of the sea beast. Venus has now passed through, or passed over, Aries, the sacrificial ram-lamb constellation, and it's now going into the transfer of authority constellation of Taurus. The moon today, 21st, yeah, is in between the horns at the top. It's growing, so it's a crescent, so that if you turn the horn so it's like that. Horns. Crescent horn moon on top of the head of the Taurus, the bull, that has horns for crescent. Transfer of authority. Tomorrow, it will be in the mortal Gemini sun, the one who dies. And then it will be with Jupiter. I am paying very close attention, hoping that we're not going to have further test runs and extensions. I am fed up with these failures of the enemy, the adversary. Dear God, such incompetence. I did my part. That was easy to do. Came naturally. And yet. And so, whether it's tonight into tomorrow, or tomorrow into the next day, The Lyriads will still be in relatively the same place. I say relatively because it's so far away that it's a slight adjustment. Falling stars, people. Falling stars. And so the lyre, or the harp, is with Vega. Lyra is the harp, and it has Vega. If anybody remembers Contact with Jodie Foster, I sure do. What are you talking about? You've got no physical evidence. You've got 8 hours of blank tape. That's physical evidence, you dumbass. Who wrote this script? It's at the knee of Hercules. Every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Hercules is the Christ. Hercules is the man like Moses. It's just a different religion of a different civilization at a different time period with a different language. It's the same scripture prophecies that you still must use the Spirit for. And he's battling the three-headed serpent dragon. 3 heads. I'm not making this up. Falling stars of the 3 heads. I am paying very close attention. And so there's David's harp, from which it is named. David, smiting Goliath, the 11-foot, 4-inch statue, between the eyes. Bye-bye for vision, seer. Why am I the only one who catches this? Why? All right, so because that's what I saw in the Lyriads. Oh yeah, the harp. Oh, David. Oh wow, Hercules with the 3-headed snake. And so I went and did a search for harp, and 2 Samuel chapter 6, and then 1 Chronicles 13 is the repeat. With some variation. There's some additional information between the two. And so thus it is necessary to go over both. As my whole day is shot down in flames. Ain't it strange? So 2 Samuel chapter 6. David takes the ark to the city of David. Whatever. They're still battling the Philistines. David had just been anointed king over Israel, and they wanted to murder him for it. 2 churches, Mormons, Oof. Oof. So yes, there is a burning incident here too, Mormons. The day that shall come that shall burn as an oven. This is not literal history. David Moses III of the 18th dynasty of David Moseses, with the founder Mosiah, with the almond priesthood for their names. No. Never went up against the Philistines. Sea people were repelled from entering into Egypt, but they were able to take Gaza. Nonetheless. And so, yeah, it's stupid that Islam would claim to be the Philistines, calling it Palestine, and then Gaza, Geba, until they came to Gezir. Islam just plagiarizes. They can't come up with anything original. And so David was the one who obtained the Ark of the Covenant. So then David dances naked, and he was spied on by Michael. So Michael is offended. How dare you dance? And that was used in Footloose, filmed here in Utah. Dancing before the Lord is not a sin, despite the church trying to tell you it is. See, it's actually the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that they were referring to in the movie. They just called it a Christian branch-off sect. She's a Mormon girl. Yeah, I had a crush on her as a teenager. We all did. Which, holding out for a hero, could use that one here too. Footloose, holding out for a hero. That's where that song got to my attention. And Superman, I saw several videos for Superman. Dun 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 dun. You've got me. Who's got you? I break down. I am of the house of L, because I am Emmanuel. So, chapter 6. This is going to be 5 hours. I have to do the video. I have to get it all in. And again, David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel. 30,000. I hope so. I hope there's that many righteous. David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baal of Judah. Baal is the false god. Elijah versus the priests of Baal. Even though it's spelled differently here, we've got to check the Paleo-Hebrew from the Biblical Hebrew. I'm not going to do that. But Judah is Utah. I may break down and cry. to bring up from thence the ark of the covenant. Because for the parting of the waters and the dry land appearing, the ark of the covenant goes first. This is the exodus of King David Moses. Messiah ben David Moses the Third. Emmanuel. Me. As a child, we are taught that Joseph Smith is called out by name in the Book of Mormon. That in the first vision, they call him out by name. And as a child, I'm going, wow, that's cool. I wonder if I'm in Scripture. And so I went to the index of the Book of Mormon. Index in the Bible. No good cells. Not even a Travis. And yeah, I was bummed. Because, you know, we're told we're Saturday's warriors. We were held in reserve to come down in these latter days, puffing up our heads. And we were righteous. We weren't fence sitters. And I'm not even named in Scripture. You know, Tabitha's in Scripture. Todd is, from translation. Tiffany? No. Terrellyn? No. Judy? Yeah. Esau's wife. That he gave birth to Ra, the son. And then Wayne, you know, that's Wagoneer. So yeah, there are wagons with the Exodus. And so yeah, my middle name is the same name as my father's name. That's been a tradition that I passed on to Clayton. I was forced to name him Clayton. I wanted to name him Stephen, the disciple that was stoned to death by Paul as Saul. But I just assumed I'm not there. So I get my patriarchal blessing. And it says I'm going to be given a high and holy calling, and he has no clue what it is. You couldn't just name one of them? Bishop, stake president, 70, high priest at least. You know, my mom dated 3 guys that claimed their patriarchal blessing, said they were going to be the president of the church. None of them did. They're all dead. They were wicked then. Nonetheless. So that's when the Dream Master, Dungeon Master for D&D, the same voice that told me in my dream in '86, the summer, she's not going with you across the street. What do you mean she's not going with me? I want her to come with me. The guards are chasing us. I don't want her caught. She's going around the building. She's not going with you across the street. But she'll get caught by the guards. Exactly. She's going to get caught by the guards. If she would just listen to me, she won't get harmed. I know. She ain't going with it. But I want her to come with me. In my dreams, it's still the same. Your love is strong and still remains. I don't want to wake up. I don't want to live in reality. It would be perfect if it were done my way. Humans being. And I again told you about the tornadoes in America, and Venture Sky, and again this. God, you're not listening. Nonetheless. So. They set the Ark of God, Ark of the Covenant, upon a new cart, a wagon, driven by oxen, and brought it out of the house of Aminadab that was in Gibeah. And Uzzah and Ahio, rather than Ahio, the sons of Aminadab, drave the new cart. And they brought it out of the house of Aminadab, and accompanied the ark, blah, blah, blah. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps, and on psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets, and on cymbals. The Exodus, coming to Zion, the New Jerusalem, singing and playing songs. There's the other passage that talks about a new song for this event. Churches tried to claim they've already got it. The Spirit of God, like a fire, is burning. I should confess that even though the Dream Master was telling me that that's what I was going to be, I denied it. No, I'm not. I don't want to be that. I just want answers. Nobody's giving me answers. Nonetheless. And so this is, again, you also need to refer to Section 85 of the Doctrine and Covenants. And when they came to Nechon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God. Who alone can touch the ark of the covenant for visions? In case you forgot the other scripture that we went over. The lamp goes out in the temple, no visions in those days. Samuel, name of God. And took hold of it, for the oxen shook it. Shake me, shake it, don't break it, baby, shake me. Somebody save me. See, I've already got my playlist. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and smote him there for his error. Verse 8, Mormons, OAKS, don't touch the temple. It's mine. Don't touch the tithing. It's for the poor. The false prophet falls. We're waiting for the fall of the great and abominable church of the adversary. Did he know? Yes, he did. We went over that with you, didn't we? OAKS knows. And he purposely said it and threw it in. It was not part of what he was referring to from the scriptures about loving your enemies. He added it on purpose. It's interesting to see John DALLIN not knowing that he's can instantly destroy this church. That with his video last night, I didn't see how many views he got. I probably should have. He's likely to get more views for that video than he previously has or has had in a while. He's likely to get more than Jasmine got. And with Alyssa Grenfell and her going worldwide in the war against this church, and now because of Jasmine, because of the church, shh, we're not going to tell John. Now John DALLIN finding out. I'm getting very excited. Even though both Alyssa Grenfell, John DALLIN, and Jasmine Rapalai, he confesses he doesn't know how to pronounce it. Rapalai is the way it's spelled. If it's not Rapalai, maybe you should tell us, Jasmine. Oh, you do, and I just don't listen because I don't go to your channel and watch. And I don't think she does. I've seen some stuff from her, and I don't recall if she says her name or not, because I think she just goes right into it. See, me, that's my thing. I tell you who I am at the beginning of my videos, for the most part. Try to remember. Sometimes when I do a second portion video like this one was, I start into it out of habit. Oh yeah, I already said that, didn't I? So nonetheless, what is about to happen is gonna be a bombshell, because now every Mormon knows. Jasmine got Mormons to find out. The apostate brethren and sistren put the word out. And now John DALLIN found out and did his reporting on it. And so yes, in the coming days, it's all over Mormonism. Even though the world doesn't give a damn. OAKS made his stand to destroy John DALLIN, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt OAKS. Bye-bye. Because that's what we're waiting for. That's what I've told you. It's called the Final Four. Jasmine started with me when I started talking about the Final Four. That was how many years ago? Oh my God. And yeah, Jasmine is the type, she's not patient. If you can't get it done, she moves on. It was tough for her to stick around. It's not my fault. It's OAKS. He ran a test run. And it was before I found out about the test run even, when she started listening to me. And she started listening to me, she confessed, before she started commenting. Which I'm sure is the case with most people. But nonetheless, I don't bite, I nibble. So the fall. I do have the Final Four here, right? I did a massive change over the weekend. I'm still trying to adjust to it. And we're going to need to make sure we move it in. I got the day and month in the Torahs. I don't have the Final Four. Final Four. So I hope you understand that each of these things that I've gone over could have been a separate video and it would have been a lot shorter, but obviously we're in crunch time. It's time to cram for the test that's about to hit the fan. Gotta cut loose, foot loose. So the fall, the transfer of authority. And so thus I keep repeating the picture that I newly made, upgraded. The corporate governance from section 107, the Melchizedek priesthood protocols. It's mine. OAKS must legally transfer to me, not the church. It's illegal. He's got to liquidate first. All of that is stolen loot, like they did in 1838. And then he transfers it to me, just like Pharaoh did to Moses. And those who choose to obey the one law come with me to Zion. And like I said, Motley Crue, Mandatory Metallica, Mozart, Manilow, Mathis, you know, the M's. Did Motley Crue get in that M? Martina McBride, yeah, she's an M. I will accept her. Yeah. Ooh. The greatest man I never knew. Did that make it in the transfer? Mm-hmm. So Valentine, greatest man. Make sure those are still on there. I gotta transfer them back on. Yeah, I'm not all hard rock and heavy metal. I got a little country soul, soft, classical. Because I can tell you about 1982 when I finally was given a radio during the summer after my parents' anniversary. And I got the hand-me-down. My dad bought himself his own anniversary gift of a new clock radio. And so he gave it to me and set it to the Dodger station on the AM dial, not the FM, to keep me away from music. Bad enough that Mother likes Elvis. Bad enough that we had to buy an 8-track tape of Sean Cassidy under wraps. 8-track? What's an 8-track? So I start the school year in the fall, and they're all, what did you do for your summer vacation? And I got a clock radio. I got to listen to Dodger games. Oh, what music do you listen to? Music? Thanks, Dad, for setting me up for jokes. Good job. And so, yeah, I go home. Oh, there's music, huh? How will I remember where the Dodger station is? We're getting into the playoffs, where Mr. October is also going to be involved. Reggie Jackson. And so, yeah, I chose what to listen to. I didn't let other people tell me what to listen to. And that's how I've always been. My mom sat me in front of the TV when Todd had colic when he was born. TV became my education and my best buddy. Rubber Ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber Ducky, you're my very best friend indeed. Boo-doo, boop-be-doo. Dance myself to sleep with my boogie-woogie sheep. So I choose what I watch on TV. Nobody tells me what to watch. I choose what games to play. Nobody tells me what games to play. I choose what music I listen to. Nobody tells me what to listen to. I choose what movies and TV shows to watch. I choose. I choose what female art forms I want. Nobody tells me to choose an idol statue god Jesus. Pictures of the prophets who are false and temples that they aren't allowed to touch. If I want women pictures and statues and paintings and all forms of art, I want it. Nobody tells me. Article of Faith number 13. Bleepers. Leave women alone. So yes, that's why I listen to all different kinds of music. I was the first. I was the first, people. They got it from me. I did the first selfie. Nobody else. That was me. Snap. I did it. And it wasn't Kodachrome. Well, yeah, I think it might have been a Kodachrome cartridge. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. Lots of variety. So, yes, I knew very well when the church was threatening us to not listen to music, not watch TV, not play games, not watch movies, not anything. Bleep you! Article of Faith number 13. You're going against Joseph Smith, the founder. It was real simple. And yet you can't let Mormons know. Oh, you saw an R-rated movie? I can't be your friend anymore. You're wicked. You need to go talk to your bishop. Bleep you. So here, YouTube. Likewise, in the internet. I choose. And yet, there is a concerted, malicious effort by the social media platforms, by the internet, by AI, to threaten people to conform and comply to what they want you to watch. And that is changing your behavior and personality. They are psychologists. It's got psychological programming in its system. They are telling you how to think, how to feel, what to believe, and therefore how to act. That's why it's all about responses and reactions, as John DALLIN tells you in his video last night. I'm going to go over my response and my reaction. John. John, stop it. BYU taught you wrong. You can't come to Zion if you've got fallacy beliefs stuck in your brain that you refuse to get rid of and want to insist on keeping. No psychologist is allowed in Zion. None of the other names you call yourself. You will not be allowed to destroy the survivors of humanity. That is the plot of the Illuminati. After they destroy, they still leave some people behind just to make sure. Right? Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball? Exactly. So, I think that's it. Paying very close attention. Very close attention. So, yeah, some other stuff in the news. People are realizing that AI is creating personalities and behaviors that are corrupt. Yeah, psychology. Religion creates personalities and behaviors that are corrupt. Yeah. And so the story in Canada, Quebec, has a secularism law that they just passed. So now everybody's panicked that they're going to lose employees, especially at daycares. Oh no, we're going to lose our employees at daycares because of this new secularism law. Really? Yeah, it's Islam in Canada. Islam got refuge and asylum in Canada, just like they did here in the United States, just like they did in other countries. And it's Islam that took over the employment, rose up in number, rise up in rank, take over leadership, destroy, just like the Illuminati of the Danites. And so yes, Islam was really the problem, because you've got situations where Islam is outwardly manifesting their religion. You can't have them in corporations. You can't have them in government. You can't have them. They are free to have a religion, but you can't force other people to accept your religion in the workplace, in government, in the public school systems. And Islam is not wanting to conform and comply because the women have to wear their hijab as a symbol of their patriarchal, religious, sexual abusers. Allah is so true. Death to Canada. women know? Or do they keep you stupid and stone you for violations? Why are you in America? You're free here. Why are you wearing the symbolism of your captivity and bondage? This is what Islam doesn't give a damn about. They want to overthrow Canada. Quebec is saying, oh, hell no. So yes, Islam are going to be forced to comply or quit. They are free in Canada too. They no longer have to wear the symbolism of their religious abusers, sexual abusers. The men, yeah, you're free from the religion of terrorism. You don't have to say, sorry, boss, I gotta go pray. I need a place to pray in the schools. No, you don't. You're free. The religion is specifically designed to overthrow other religions, other governments, other civilizations, other economies by its very creation of Muhammad. Nonetheless, only the BBC was aware of Trump's insider trading. And LinkedIn, after I talked about it in the video, then sure enough, I got 7 more views on LinkedIn. What the bleeping hell, guys? And a posting from BYU, Idaho. Bye-bye, you're gone. It's gone. I told you in the video, I am fed up with LinkedIn sending me all these emails. I tried to purge everybody, and still I'm getting it, and it's still I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spam you. And sure enough, after I do that video, they do it in extremism, exactly as I said they had been doing it, and gone, unsubscribed. I warned you, you didn't listen, you're gone. So yeah, LinkedIn, I thought, oh, great, I can post my accomplishments, my resume, people can know. It kind of sucks that I can't use Rick's, because I didn't go to BYU, Idaho. I didn't graduate from them. That's not my school. And so, do I leave it out? Or, I should have left it out, I guess. But nonetheless. So that's what I was thinking, is that it was just a place to show off and post my resume. And the idea that people would come and say, oh yeah, you've got the qualifications we're looking for and we'd like to hire you. But no, it was everybody was wanting to sell me something. And oh my hell, seriously, woman? You were using LinkedIn as a dating site to find guys you think might be rich? Oh, hell no. I'm out. And so, yeah, I left. Didn't go into it. And then I eventually would find academia. Perfect. But November 4th, 2016, Fox 13 News Utah told me about this total solar eclipse over the United States of America, and I knew exactly what that meant. So everything got put on hold. No more postings on academia. I just put up the original drafts. I still needed to upgrade them, update them, and so yeah, all these videos, 10.3K videos, are needed to upgrade this stuff. And so I had no intention of doing that. Now that we're supposed to be going to Zion, I don't need to use academia anymore because we're going to Zion, right? So I can be Nephi and make all the plates there. Yeah. Came full circle, didn't I? Amazing. How did I do that? Alrighty. Heads up, people. I have no interest in controlling your lives or stealing your money. It's all about saving your lives. Church, nonetheless, wants to murder us. I missed it. Sorry. 1 Chronicles 13. There is differences that I mentioned, and I forgot to mention them. It's late in the video. Whatever. I'm going to make a new Final Four anyway, as I was deciding to do, and I saw 1 Chronicles 13. So here's the new information here. And it's right here at the beginning, so we can do this and get it over with and move on. I need to get lunch. I don't have breakfast anymore. That's gone already. So I'm hungry. I still haven't bathed, shaved. Do I need to shave? I don't think I need to, because I have to make it so that I shave on Sundays when I do the weekly cleaning and the bathing. And so, because it's 7 days because of the Babylonians, there's it's not every other day, because there's an extra day because of 7. You know, I could do it every day, but that's a waste of time in this current lifestyle that I'm in. There's no woman that I'm dating. Who prefers I be shaved. Or dating at all. Nonetheless, I had to learn from Kimberly that I should be shaved, or at least learn a different lip technique. She was very appreciative. I miss her over charity. Unbelievable. Church sabotaged it. The Book of Mormon. Have you not heard that story? Those who are listening to this far in know what I'm talking about, right? So yeah, it's usually the Tuesday that I'd spend the extra day without shaving. Though I could do it for the Thursday as well. If I do it today, then I'd go Monday and Thursday without shaving, and then Friday, and I can pick and choose. I prefer not to do a Friday and Saturday, but that's also an option. Those 3. Anyway. So David consulted with the captains of thousands and hundreds. Stake president, and then bishop. The section 133 call out. So yes, with the transfer also requires all records, not just of the membership and those like John DALLIN, who they still keep, so they can sue them, but also for, again, section 85 of the Doctrine and Covenants and section 133. I've done the pictures, I've shown you, and you're not listening. And so, yes, all of the stakes, contact information, they will be contacted, not the bishops. I should send it out to the bishops, all leaders of the church over the wards and branches, to let them know, so that the stake president, if he doesn't want to come and wants nothing to do with it, then the other leaders, which I'll have to send it out to the counselors of the bishopric and the stake presidency as well, so that somebody who wants to come or wants to do the right thing to allow other people to come get notified. And so if I don't get a return notification from a stake or a ward in the stake, I will be making inquiries, and you don't want me to do that. I'm going to be pissed. Everybody must know. And so the stake president is going to be required to do the interviews of the bishop. Each of the bishops under him. And he's going to find out if they've been naughty or nice. If they've been naughty and chased somebody out of the church because they were following the living prophets of Jesus, he ain't coming. And then the stake president will need to be responsible for getting somebody else to step in and replace him for the ward interviews, so that the stake president receives all of the bishops' interviews with resumes, by the way. Remember the storehouse? I need to know what you're going to do to contribute. If you're on the exemption clause list, I've already done that. We're not doing that again in this video. Doesn't matter. And so they then give their reporting back to the stake president, or the one who is going to be the person at that point, and then he will then send it to me. And likely the bishops should also send it to me, so that I make sure that the stake president does it. So that there's a duplicate going on to ensure we do not want anyone left behind who qualifies to come. And yeah, this is a military thing, and it's going to be for this church. This is war. Nobody who is qualified to come will be left behind. So Frederick, if you're listening, I haven't forgotten you. This is what we have planned. I hope you're listening. Hope you're doing okay. I haven't heard from you in a while. And so then the bishops are also going to be asked if they've chased anybody out, and the stake president has to go and talk to the person, as well as make sure that the bishop has not qualified to come, and so you don't need to worry about them. And then the bishops are going to be handling the local issues and the drama, and if it can't be resolved, that those who choose to come, who are fighting among each other, don't qualify to come. And if we have to shoot the hostage or cut the baby in half, you do know where I'm getting those from, right? Speed, Keanu Reeves for the shoot the hostage, and the baby cut in half is Solomon. I'm shocked. So yes. And so yes, I guess this means that there's additional checks in the system for Mormons to hurdle through to make sure they know and choose to come. So And so, yes, their membership record, even if they got excommunicated, I need to know. And the bishops and the stake presidents have to talk with them about it. Were they at fault, or was it over porn? Did you murder somebody? Did you rape somebody? Or was it just porn? Not making it and posting it. Having it as art. Article of Faith number 13. So yes, we probably won't have any women coming. God damn this church. Women get abused, and then they become the abusers. Just awful. So, yeah. So I see that. Thousands for the stake president, the hundreds for the bishop. That's what I see there. Amazing. With every leader. So that's section 133 when I send out the message after the fall of the church and the transfer to me. And it's likely, as Nephi, that when the transfer happens after the fall of the church, that there are Mormons who are going to be pissed and demand that the church be reinstalled. And then if they find out that I got everything transferred to me, I'm going to have to get the hell out of Dodge quick. And thus head to the spot and then put up the call from there. But we'll see. We'll see. Because, yeah, this John DALLIN thing, yeah, already with Alyssa Grenfell and now with John DALLIN, oh, this is huge. I mean, seriously, Oakes did not think this through, or did he? Because Harold B. Lee, in his Articles of Incorporation, made it very clear upon the shutting down or dissolution of this corporation. What? You're planning to destroy the church? Yes, they are. I've tried to warn you. And so, yes, this is what Oakes is likely doing here by going after John DALLIN, is that he wants the church purged, to have only the faithful in the church, to be offended and side with John DALLIN so that he now knows who's loyal to him. And thus will destroy the church, cause the Mormons to be at war one with another. And he doesn't seem to understand, or does he, that it will take down the church with it. So that's what you're up against, John. Trying to help you out there. Trying to help you out. So David said to all the congregation of Israel, with the captains of stake presidents and bishops. See, all of this was visionary inspiration on how to do all of this. And here it is. I just found it right now. This is how it works. I'm always right. But try telling that to a woman. Nope, I gotta keep my mouth shut. I can fix it. I don't want it fixed. But you're angry. Don't you tell me how I feel. But I love you. Don't you tell me you love me. Why? I chose you. Why are you being mean? And so, yes, this is the gathering. Just literally amazed at how accurate my visions are. You know, I read this on my mission, did the whole reading of the Bible then. But that's how good my associative memory is from Fiskin. I'm not going to memorize. Hell no. And so, yeah, the Ark of the Covenant is just the symbol for David as the seer, the visionary. That's the outward similitude, symbolism. The one who talks with the Lord. He is the Lord. And so, yeah, so David gathered all Israel, keys of Moses. They are one and the same, David, Moses. From Sihor of Egypt unto the entering of Hamath. I think the other one was He-Man. I saw He-Man yesterday. It must have been from the 2nd Samuel. But anyway. Or it could have been another thing I was checking on. Anyway. And so then, yeah, and then there's Bala'ah, which is a different spelling, but it's still Baal. And belongeth to Judah. So yeah, there's different linguistic pattern here, different author, that's why. And house of Aminadab, Uzzah, instead of Uzzah, but it's still Ahio. Drave the cart. So then the symbol plane. So that's the difference. I don't think there's, yeah, it's a shorter version of the death. And so, okay. But yeah, all these stories are similar. That's why a mind like mine is just eating all this up. I see how it all connects together. That's why I do the videos. And so I could do them all separately, but we're in the final innings. So hang on. What's about to happen is going to be huge. And when the church falls, then it will be caught to the attention of the world. Right now, nobody gives a damn. So yeah, the city of David, yeah, Zion and New Jerusalem, those literally are just titles. So I guess we'll have to call it the city of Emmanuel.